is your use of cannabis or any substance actually tangibly enhancing your ability to be productive, to manage yourself, and to contribute to your own, whether it be, I would say your own stability, your ability to, pay your bills, be creative, take care of yourself, manage yourself in relationships? Is it making you somebody who could be an example for people younger than you?
Definitely.
And know that your leadership is steering them in the right direction? Or is it something you have to medicate yourself with because you keep making any number of excuses about why your life's this, or why you're broke, or why nobody loves you, or whatever? I think if you're caught in the victim, the saboteur, or the prostitute archetypes, and you're using marijuana to medicate it, you're just getting deeper.
Oh, you are.
And there's a lot of people that do that, and they're not just young people. It's like I see a lot of cannabis misuse all the way up into the 50s.
Oh yeah, 100%. I have to rehab a lot of those people.
Yeah.
People that are smoking. I mean, I just worked with a guy who was smoking an ounce every 2 days.
That's an expensive habit.
I know, it's a very expensive habit. He wasn't a grower either. I'm like, how are you avoiding this, my brother?
Yeah.
And, again, at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to tell anyone what's right or wrong, because there is no right or wrong. So if you want to be right, you're wrong, right? One of my favorite sayings ever. But at the same time, like, if you're consuming an ounce every 2 days and you don't have cancer, for instance, you're running from something. There's no way someone needs an ounce of cannabis every 2 days, and that's their highest experience. I've never met anyone, and I've met a lot of people that have very beautiful, conscious relationships with cannabis, you and myself included. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, the amount I need now is so little compared to what I needed 10 years ago. Yeah. It's almost hilarious. Being a grower, that's why I gift most of my stuff away, because it's just like I don't, utilize that much of it. What I really like it for, like you were saying, to bring it back to a little while ago, is a couple different things. Lovemaking, fantastic for lovemaking.
I think it's especially great for men that prematurely ejaculate.
Oh, 100%. That's one of the main things I help men with when they come to me with premature ejaculation, is getting onto some form of cannabis. A lot of times hemp products, but yeah, it's really big for that. And then the other thing is music. I love, my favorite thing is, just like you, I like doing it. I only like doing it at the end of the day. Yeah. It gives me if I connect with cannabis in the morning, I literally haven't done this for about 9 years or more now. Yeah. But it just makes me feel like I'm cheating. It makes me feel like now I have nothing to look forward to at the end of the day. I haven't done anything this day to reward myself with that. I feel like I haven't been responsible. Mm-hmm. And so once I get through all my responsibilities, all the checklist items are done, and it's my time to go play, what I'll do is I'll connect with a little bit of cannabis. Maybe I'll have a conversation with my partner, Rachel. We'll talk about our days together. And then I'll go play guitar, and I'll just turn on Spotify. I'll find some classic rock song, and I'll be like, cool, let me go learn this. And I'll just dive into that. My father, who is a big part of my journey, he also was a big part of my music journey. And so I've gotten a lot back into playing music the last couple of years, because it's another way I connect to my dad. So sometimes I'll find an old song that he liked, and I'll be like, let me go try to learn it. Because when he was alive, he was a really big fan of 50s music, and so he would always want me to learn these songs that I wasn't interested in. And so now, Everly Brothers, exactly. Oh, now I love Moody Blues, like all that kind of stuff. Now I'm obsessed. I was about 10 years too late to everything he was telling me, but Beach Boys, all that kind of stuff, so fun, and it really allows me to get closer to myself. That's what I really feel it does. And I can go weeks without it and still feel that connection, which is how I know it's conscious. I don't need it for that. But damn, if I got 2 hours at the end of the day to spend with myself, and it takes me sometimes an hour, like you were saying, to get into that state, and I only got 2 hours, I'm going to utilize something. I know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what I'm looking to get from it. It allows me to enter that state of mind where I'm able to get right to that peace point, and then boom, I can go into playing music.
Are you confused about your life's purpose, or wondering why you're really here? Don't feel alone. It's pretty common today. Guess what? You can join my Spirit Gym community, have access to my Master Key lessons, and get my support and guidance and the support of our awesome community to find your life's purpose and do all the inner work necessary to really resolve unresolved challenges, heal, grow, and identify exactly why you're here and what gems you came to give the world. If you want to join us, you're welcome to join my Spirit Gym community. I think Mother Nature put all these tools in the tool chest for a reason.
100%.
I've got quite a comprehensive selection of books on psychedelic research and you know, a lot. I'm just one of these shelves over here, but in one of the books, the author, who's I believe a PhD biochemist or something like that, did research on animals and insects, and he found pretty much every animal and insect ever studied has their own selection of psychedelic drugs and intoxicants like alcohol, you know, various molecules that get them high. But they show very clearly that, like, ants will ferment. They'll take pieces of fruit and ferment them, and then they'll, you know, when they're full of alcohol, they'll drink them. There's a whole bunch of examples in there, but it's like these things are in nature to support nature in naturing. Because, you know, nature can be quite brutal.
Yeah, it can.
And when you've got a farm like we do, you know, we have to watch very carefully. For example, if one of the chickens gets sick, the other chickens will attack it and kill it. They're very quick to weed out the weak. Point being is that, you know, nature's a tough lover. And so, but she's also a great doctor. She leaves you the healing medicines around. And a great story of that. Do you know the story of Harry Hoxsey?
No, I don't think so.
You'd find this mind-blowing.
Oh, I'm excited to hear it.
Harry Hoxsey was a naturopathic physician. I think he was from here in San Diego, actually. And the long and the short of it, there's a documentary, just like Hoxsey. If you search it on Amazon, you'll find a documentary too. But Harry Hoxsey was a naturopathic physician, and he had a horse that got severe cancer, and it was a horse that, you know, had been in the family for a long time, and they really loved. And so they thought that they should keep the horse in the barn because it was sick. And it dawned on him that, you know, the horse would probably feel better if he could be out in the open in the fields and just, you know, do what he wanted to do and not be stuck in a stall all day. So they let the horse out to range in the fields. And after a couple of weeks, and I'm just paraphrasing the story, they noticed that the cancer was curing. And so Harry Hoxsey, being a naturopathic physician, said, this is interesting because he wasn't doing well until I let him out. So he started following the horse around and found that he was eating all sorts of strange things like flowers and thistles or various stuff that horses don't normally eat. And the horse cured itself of cancer. So what he did is he wrote down everything the horse was eating and used that, and he created a natural cure for cancer that's still being used in cancer treatment centers to this very day.
Wow.
And I know people that have been cured of cancer by this formula.
That's wild.
And the story is of the I think it was the FDA or the AMA. The AMA got wind of the fact that he was curing so many people from cancer. And they came to him and said, we want to buy your formula. And he said, I will only sell it to you under one condition. You must treat anybody that comes for help that cannot afford the treatment. On those terms, I will sell it to you, because he did not want it to be limited to socioeconomic class. He wanted to be able to help people heal. And the AMA refused to do it. And he said, well, I won't sell it to you then. And they said, we will put you out of business then. And that began a war. But what they didn't know was that Harry Hoxsey's family was in the oil business, and he had a lot of money. He was a very wealthy man. And apparently he walked around with $10,000 cash in his pocket all the time.
Wow.
And they kept busting his clinics, arresting him, throwing him in jail. It was so many people knew him because he'd helped so many heal from cancer that they got to the point where it was hard for them to put him in jail, because piles of people would show up and bring him cooked turkeys and pies and cakes, and it would clog the parking lots and the streets up. And so they were like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. But the long and the short of it, they ultimately put him out of business. But he was the first one to beat the American Medical Association in a lawsuit.
Wow.
And he proved that the then AMA director, I believe it was Morris Fishbein, failed in medical school, wasn't even qualified to be a physician, and was doing all sorts of dirty shit behind the scenes. And he ultimately beat the AMA in court. Gosh. But then they kept after him. They kept crashing. So they pushed him down into Mexico. But the point I'm making is that Harry Hoxsey learned how to create this by studying a sick horse and watching what it ate to cure itself from cancer.